So you've been dumped and you just are desperate for a sign that they are thinking about you or that they're missing you. And you want to know what some of those signs are. Well, the good news is that's what we're covering in today's video. The 7 clear signs that your ex is thinking about you and missing you. And real quick, I also want to mention that right now I'm working on building a course about how to get your ex back. And right now, for a very limited time, I'm going to be doing free 30-minute Zoom sessions to talk to you about your specific issue in how to get your ex back. So if you want to join me on one of those calls, the link is down below in the description. So the first of those 7 signs is that you run into them randomly and they are very happy to see you. It's not awkward. There's no hostility. There's no lingering weirdness. They are happy to see you. Maybe they even give you a big hug and they're holding your hand and they want to know what's going on with you. There's clear, genuine emotion and affection. The next is that they do actually reach out occasionally. They call you or text you, and especially if they're doing that late at night. That means, they're laying there in their bed and they're missing you. They're thinking about you. They can't get you off of their mind. And the only thing they know what to do is to reach out. So if you're seeing that, that's another really good sign. The next one is that they view all or most of your Facebook and or Instagram stories. And of course, you'll know if they are because their name's going to show up in that list there. Let's say they're being sneaky about it. Maybe they created a fake profile. I talked to a client last week where that was the situation. And his ex-girlfriend who had dumped him had created 2 or 3 fake accounts and was stalking him that way. So even if you're not seeing their name on the list, look and see if there are names on there that you don't recognize from your friends list. It depends on your privacy settings too. Maybe they won't be able to do that depending on how private your account is. But if you're seeing weird names that you've never heard of before, that's a clear sign that they might have made up a fake profile just to keep tabs on you. The next one, and this is kind of getting a little bit spiritual or maybe, into the world of like manifestation, but you can't get them off of your mind and you're feeling their energy, their presence. This actually happens to me a lot with my ex-girlfriend. We're still friends on Facebook and Instagram, and oftentimes I'll get that feeling and I'll go on Facebook and I'll see the little blue dot there indicating that she's online right now. Oftentimes she's looking at my story right then when I think about that. So there is definitely something to energy and connectedness. After all, everything in this universe is made of energy. And if we're open to feeling it, we can often feel when someone else is putting energy towards us. So if you're feeling that, especially if it's not consistent, but every now and then you get this overwhelming feeling that they're thinking about you or you're thinking about them. And that's that transference of energy between the two of you. The next one is that you run into them randomly out and they're always going to places that they used to go to with you. And even if they're going there with a new relationship, that's happened to me also, it still is a good sign that they're thinking about you because somehow they're trying to recreate the memories that they had with you with this new person. And guess what? The new person isn't you and they're not going to measure up in that same way. Doesn't mean their relationship couldn't work out, but if she's taking them or he's taking them to the same places that you used to go to, then that's a clear sign that she's not quite over you yet. She's thinking about you. And even though she's with this other person or he's with this other person, they're trying to recreate those memories they had that are only exclusively with you. I mentioned running into them and them being, excited to see you. But when you run into them, how physical are they? Are they hugging you? Are they kissing you? Are they touching you? Are they holding your hand? Things like that. That's a clear sign that they are still thinking about you and that they're definitely missing you. And that's even more true if it gets really physical. And you know what I'm talking about here, folks. If they are actually wanting to hook up with you, then that's an even bigger signal. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're definitely going to reconcile with you, though. A lot of exes do hook up occasionally. And I do have a video coming out that covers that subject. So if you want to check that one out, look for that right up here on the screen. And that way you can kind of know if you are indeed hooking up with your ex, what it actually means and what the likelihood is of reconciliation. And the next one, I know it's going to sound a little bit weird, but they're sending mixed signals. Sometimes they're distant, you don't hear from them for a few days, and then other times they're blowing up your phone and you never kind of know what to expect. And it's basically, that's a sign of their confusion, especially if there is somebody new in the picture, as there is in my case with my ex. There is somebody new in the picture for her, so I don't hear from her every day, but every few days she blows up my phone kind of randomly for no reason usually. And so sometimes if you don't hear anything for a couple of days and then they reach out and they're warm and they're friendly and they're engaging, and maybe they're even talking about nostalgic things that you had done together or places that you'd gone, things like that. That is a really good sign that they are missing you and they are thinking about you. Now, there are some telltale signs that your ex is never, ever coming back. And if you're not sure what those are and you want to kind of review those so you know whether or not you're wasting your time, check out this video right up here on my channel.